I'm Marie Hopkinson, a practitioner of Chinese medicine, acupuncturist, herbalist. I'm going to show you today some simple techniques you can use to help your own pain of your elbow, wrist. You might have things like tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, synovitis or tendonitis of your wrist. This is great for people that do repetitive things. In the old days they call it RSI, repetitive strain injury. So you might have repetitive jobs that you do. You might be a muso, something like that. I'm going to show you some different techniques you can use to help in between acupuncture treatments. I'll often give these self-massage things for my patients to do. So maybe I've sent you to this video for that reason, or if you're just coming across this on YouTube, then welcome, and hopefully this is going to be helpful to you. Pretty much what you want to do is massage the muscles that connect up to your hands. So basically what happens is, this is a really good example you can do for yourself to work that out. So a lot of the time, this is not a replacement for treatment. I'm not making any claims about the treatment. This is not a treatment. This is a self-treatment that you can do on yourself. So it's like a self-help video. It's not meant to replace a diagnosis or a treatment. So what you want to do is one really cool, interesting thing is a lot of the time we find trigger points here and treat this area here with acupuncture for things where there's pain in the wrist, or there's even for elbow stuff. But what you'll find is really interesting is the digitorum muscle. This is your digits, like your fingers are your digits. When you do this sort of movement and you put your hands here, this hand here, you should be able to feel that movement of the muscle sort of going like that, sort of fibrillating underneath as you move your hand. So that's going to tell you that muscle, when you move your hand, so let's say you've done some repetitive movement with your hands. Now, I know a lot about this for myself personally because I use my hands for so many things, play a lot of instruments. I used to have very terrible wrist pain playing violin when I was younger, and that was partly my shoulder and posture, and I play the cello, play the guitar. So this stuff does work. It does help to alleviate the symptoms, and sometimes the wrist pain can be really, really bad. And I've had times where nothing has relieved it. It may go away except for resting it over a period of time, but also these things do relieve or alleviate some of the pain. So what I'm going to use here is just a little bit of this oil, which is this is like a little oil that I get in China, but it's pretty much just liquid tiger balm. So those kinds of oils are pretty much just menthol, camphor, clove, that kind of stuff. And you can make this at home with like if you have essential oils that you like using. Pretty much you want it to get warm. That's the purpose of this oil. And what we're going to do is like a Chinese scrubbing or scraping or gua sha on ourselves. And let's say you don't have any of those implements. You don't have a gua sha thing, which is just a little plastic scraper. You can actually use your own thumb if you've got strong thumbs. I mean, I have strong thumbs, I guess, because I use my hands a lot, but you can rub it down like this. So what you'll find is, especially since I've used this oil, it's getting red. And that means blood flow is coming there. And we don't want to make it too red. We don't want to make it too uncomfortable, too painful. Especially if you're someone like me, you have to use your arm the next day, or you're relying on using your hand. This happens a lot for people that are tradies. I mean, golfer's elbow and tennis elbow get their name from the professions that cause them primarily, or that have been associated with them commonly. But you don't have to be a golfer to get golfer's elbow. You can just have the pain in that particular area, that's the strain of the tendon there. So this massage I give to a lot of patients, which is one of the reasons I've made this video. Actually, I had someone today that just kind of reminded me of this, and it's such a simple little exercise. And even if you just do that, what I've done there, you'll see that it's red, and you can actually feel a tingliness in your hands. That's enough to just promote the blood flow there. And sometimes that's all you need to do, because you don't want to, if you do that every day or just before you play your instrument, if you're a muso, then this is a good way to kind of warm it up. Or just before you play your sport, you can do that. Now, if you're a professional sports player, or even in your professional musicianship and things like that, then maybe consult with your own healthcare practitioner first before you do this, like right before you play, whether they suggest that's a good thing to do. But I know just from my own personal experience that this does help for basically getting more blood flow there, and that's all you would do. You don't want it to get more bruised or more stronger than that. Now, the next thing you can do is to rub across. So the tendons are going this way, you want to rub across. So if you're a muso, just think of it like strumming your instrument, like with your thumb, like plucking a string, pretty much. And you can just feel that bulky part of the muscle there, the height of the muscle. Now this in Chinese medicine is your large intestine channel. So if you squeeze your elbow there, and you'll see like you'll feel a strong point there. That's large intestine 11, and a chucha. And then this point, Shousan Li's large intestine 10 is, it's hard to explain it if you don't know Chinese medicine, but let's say it's two sun, which is two fingers slightly spaced apart, just here. So if you just kind of find, it's really the most painful part you're going to find on the forearm there. So you can massage that point. Now you can just sit there and rub on it, and I don't have wrist pain or anything now, but I can feel that point is pretty strong, pretty sore. Or you can just rub across it. Now, if you actually have tennis elbow, I've sometimes told this to patients to find the spot where the actual tendon is the problem. They know, because they'll say, well, the pain is right in this one spot. That's one thing specific to tennis and golfer's elbow, that the pain is, you can kind of almost draw it around with a knot, with a little pen, exactly where the spot is. You can use your oil. You don't need much of this stuff. Just rub it in and just rub across that. You can use Tiger Balm, which is pretty much the same thing. It's just less liquidy. It's just a balm. The balm. Who told you to put the balm on? So you just kind of rub across like that, and that's all you're doing. So that was a little Seinfeld reference there, if you if you didn't know what that was. So you can rub all the way down. So I'm going down here. This is your Sanjiao channel in Chinese medicine. So if you're following the channels, it's going to be large intestine and Sanjiao. That are the main ones. So that large intestine channel comes right up to the hand. So sometimes these points can be used. Now this is all just a local treatment. Some practitioners with acupuncture will use a distal treatment. Now we're talking about acupressure here. So it's very hard to replicate the acupuncture treatments with Twainer and self-massage. We usually do local treatments, not distal. But what I want to get at is, like, that's very simple, literally a couple of minutes, and that's enough. That's all you need to do, and it's already, like, you should be feeling achy, heavy, tingly, a little bit, almost a bit nummy sort of feeling. That's all good. It means I've done it right. So you can do that treatment for wrist pain. So you're not actually touching the wrist. So let's say you've got tendonitis or synovitis, which is like inflammation of the synovial joint there. Sometimes it's called tenosynovitis, which is the same thing. It's just inflammation. Itis is inflammation, so inflammation of the tendons. So you may rub across there for that sort of thing, like rubbing across. Another great technique you can try is in your shoulder itself. So your shoulder can be a little hard to get to. Okay, so here's another technique you can try. This might look a bit weird. It's not a medical device. It's actually just a wooden coat hanger. This is a simple one from IKEA. It's got, what's great about this coat hanger is it's bouncy. So I'll show you something that I just figured out on myself, and this was from having my clothing store and having a sore back in it. But doing this can really be good to get right in behind your shoulder blade. So you're basically just banging, and you can use this. Chinese do a lot of, like, Chinese medicine and Chinese people, I've seen them do this at the airport, just do a lot of self-hitting. It's Twainer, it's Chinese massage. So you can do this, and the good thing with the coat hanger is it's bouncy, so it's absorbing some of that stuff. If you want it to be harder, you can try this, and that doesn't feel so great, but the bouncy bit, that feels really good. So you can go right behind your shoulder blade and get in between your shoulder blades, doing it like that. That's perfect. That's beautiful. So that feels really good, and that is a great little self-massage thing. Then you can use that if you feel like you're getting a headache, getting a sore neck, tight neck, something like that. And yeah, so this is just stuff you can do really for maybe just 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and just relieving the tension that's there. So yeah, if you're not sure about whether this is right for you, please consult with your practitioner and check if these are the right things to do. The purpose of this video is just to help you learn about Chinese medicine and to show you some stuff you can use for yourself. And yeah, you can't really do too much damage doing these kind of self-massage things. You need to pay attention to your body. If something feels like not good, not a good pain, then don't keep on doing it. Just stop, check with your practitioner, and use common sense. Massage actually comes from feeling where the pain is and touching where the pain is. So there is some benefit to or there's some sort of human nature to touch where pain is. Like, oh, this hurts, and so you press it and pressing on those areas. So just pay attention to what your body is telling you in that way. If you're not a professional and you're just giving it a go, and especially if you are a professional sports person or muso, as I said before, go and consult with your own therapist about whether this stuff is right to do just before you do a gig or do a performance or something like that. Cool. So check out my channel. You can subscribe to the channel. That'll be really great. And you can leave a comment below. You can like this video and tell me what you do or don't like about it. That'll be great. And if it's helped you, share it to people. If you know someone who this might help, feel free to share the video. Thank you.